are you today? I am so glad that you're here. If we haven't met yet, my name's Dawn from Just Doing My Best, and I like to share super simple makeup tips with you using very affordable products. Today, we're gonna brighten up these tired eyes, and every day I start out with these vitamin C eye masks. These are so good, super affordable. Every morning, truly, while I'm drinking my coffee, I've got these eye masks on. I love them. They're super high in vitamin C. You get a package of 60 of these. Not only does it help brighten, the vitamin C helps improve the dark circles underneath my eyes over time, but I also get a lot of hydration underneath my eyes, which means when I go in to start my makeup, everything's going to lay a lot smoother. Everything that I'm showing today will be linked down in the description below. You can find all the details there. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know when new videos come out. Immediately after using my eye mask, I have started using an eye drop, just something to brighten up my eyes. There are some days that I just haven't had, I don't drink. So it's not like I woke up after, too many cocktails or anything like that. But I just wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, my eyes are just bloodshot and look so tired. So I've started using these eye drops, and it is amazing how much brighter my eyes look, and it lasts for several hours. Now I'm about to apply my foundation, and while I've done everything that I can to make my whites of my eyes look brighter, to help with my dark circles, now it falls to my makeup to either help me look more awake or make me look even more tired and, 57. So one of the things that I'm going to do is when I apply my foundation, I avoid foundation immediately below my eyes because I want to save that for concealer. So I am going to apply foundation around my eyes, and we'll address that area in a minute. I've applied my foundation, and again, I did not apply foundation directly below my eyes. I did put a little above my eyes. Now, before concealer, I'm going to use color corrector. Color corrector is a game changer. If you're like me, you're over 40, over 50, over 60, you've got redness, you've got dark circles, and you want to conceal that. You want to hide those dark circles. A color corrector is your best friend. Color corrector goes in and it cancels the redness and the dark circles. You will use less concealer because the color corrector is doing all of the heavy lifting. I'm using a very affordable color corrector, and mine has changed over the last year or so. This is the color corrector by Revolution. I will link it down in the description below. It's under $10. A year or so ago, it wasn't my favorite, not because it didn't work, but because it was a little too hydrating for me. But as my skin changes, as I age, this is perfect for me. I love the color. I'm a little bit more fair skin. So for me, a color corrector looks a little bit more pinky peach. If you're more of a medium skin tone or you're leaning more towards a darker skin tone, your color corrector is going to look a little bit more peachy, and the darker your skin tone is, that color corrector for your dark circles and your redness is going to look a little bit more orange. So play around with a color corrector. This one is fabulous. I've got redness above my eyes and then darkness in the inner corner. So that's where I'm going to concentrate my color corrector. And you saw I didn't apply a lot. I'm just going to let it do its job. Now my concealer doesn't have to work so hard. When you're trying to conceal the redness and the dark circles with just a concealer, what ends up happening, you do what the rest of us do, is you apply concealer and go, okay, that's not helping. And you apply more concealer. And then it just gets cakey. And the more makeup you have there, the more likely it is to crease. And then the more attention we're going to put on that area. Now what I'm going to do is, rather than beat up this area right below my lash line by poking it with a brush too much, I'm going to take my ring finger and just tap that into place. Let the warmth of my finger melt that into my skin and just move that into place. The other thing that that's going to do is my finger is going to pick up any excess, thereby removing extra product that again can look cakey and creasy, and we don't want that. So color correcting is done. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer. The concealer that I'm using today is the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. This is one of my very favorite concealers, and it is medium to full coverage and has hyaluronic acid and is waterproof. It really does stay put all day long. I'm going to apply the concealer to the back of my hand. That way it gives me a little bit more control. Try to get a concealer that is very close to your skin color. I think a few years ago, we tried to get a concealer that was a little bit brighter because we do have more darkness, because we do have more redness. What it does is it just acts like a giant spotlight because it's a shade or two or maybe three lighter than everything else. And so it just shows up more. Pick it up off the back of my hand, kind of place it where I want it, and I'm really concentrating in these areas right here. I like to let it sit there just for a minute and kind of marinate. And when you do that, it almost turns into more of a full coverage, regardless of what the formula is originally. So now I'm just gonna blend that in this area. And the biggest thing is I want to blend up and out, up and out, up and out, because it will draw my face up, helping me look more awake and more youthful. Go back to the ring finger and just tap that into place. I love doing that just to help blend that and just make it a little bit more seamless. On the days that I'm looking super tired, the one thing that I don't want to do is pile on the eye makeup. I need my eye to look more open and awake. So all I'm going to do is apply bronzer for color, and I'm going to concentrate above where my lashes hit. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit lighter color and just put that just in the inner half of my eye. That's all I'm going to do for eyeshadow. I need to keep it minimal so that I'm not drawing attention to the fact that I look really, really tired. Did you see this horrible bruise? Over the weekend, my husband was taking me to dinner and it just started raining and I slipped down our back steps. I was just lucky I didn't break anything at this age. My husband says it's because I had new shoes on. I said, do not blame the shoes. It is not the shoes' fault. So the next day, my husband put those safety strips on all of our steps. But that looks horrible, doesn't it? I don't want to apply a lot of eyeliner because I want to take the attention away from my tired eyes. So instead of using eyeliner, I'm going to use this liner from LA Girl, and all I'm going to do is line the inner rim of my upper eye. That way it'll help to make my lashes look fuller, which will really help when I apply mascara in a minute. My next step is going to be mascara. So rather than focus on the outer corner, which I think is what a lot of us do, I'm going to put the attention of my mascara in the middle to draw those eyes up, helping me look more awake. One of the last things that I love to do to just look more awake, it kind of makes you look like you had an extra 2 or 3 hours of sleep, is to put a little highlighter on the inner corner. I like to use something that's a little bit more champagne colored. And this is just a Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlight. So under $5. And I'm just going to put a little bit just right in that inner corner. You don't need a lot of this. And one of the things that I love to do is maybe at the end of the day, when all of the sudden my husband's like, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. I'm not going to redo all of my makeup. I may just powder a little bit around my eyes and my nose, but then I'll just take a little bit of highlighter, just go right in that inner corner, and it just kind of freshens everything up and makes me look a little bit more awake. I love doing this. While we can't turn back the hands of time, we do all have a few tricks up our sleeve to help us look more awake and brighten up these tired, mature eyes. I hope this was helpful. If it was, I would love for you to like this video and subscribe. Come over and find me on Facebook or Instagram at Just Doing My Best. And if you want more super simple makeup tips for our mature skin, watch this video next. Go out today and be blessed and do your best.